I'm Mark, and this is Everyone Can Grill. Today I'm doing a viewer request. We're gonna do stuffed potato soup. Cold November day like this, you can't ask for anything better. So stick around, because this is gonna rock. All right, let's get this soup going. I got the grill on, grates open. I got the grates up normally this way instead of the way I usually do them upside down, because I'm cooking direct and indirect. I'm gonna be pulling this pot back and forth off of that grill. So we're gonna start out by getting our bacon on. All of the bacon in there. This is a half a pack of Sugardale regular cut bacon. And what we're doing, we're gonna cook this all the way down. See, I took this and I cut it into little pieces. We're gonna get it on here and we're gonna cook this until it's crispy. So let me get that rolling and I will bring you back. All right, I'm bringing you back because this bacon is about as rendered as it's gonna get. And I've been putting it over the coals and pulling it back and forth so it doesn't burn. Once it got to where there was enough grease in there, I could slow down a little bit. But as you can see, the frickin' coals are hot. So we want to not burn the snot out of our bacon. So I think that's good enough to get off. I'm going to pull it clean off the heat for a minute. Get my spoon. Pull this bacon on. Yeah, that's good. Now this is the hard part. You're going to have to keep your friends from picking at this, or yourself from picking at this while you're cooking the rest of it, or else you won't have any to put in there at the end. So we got all the bacon out of there. Move it a little bit on. You can see there's a little bit of grease in there from the bacon, but there's not enough to make a roux. So I'm going to use a little bit of butter. Get that in there and melt it. Put it right over the coals. Let's heat this up a little bit. Kind of get some of those little bacon chips off the bottom. Now we want to heat this. We don't want to burn it. I don't want brown butter. I don't think that would taste very good in this. I should have broke that up into about 8 pieces, but I didn't. Because it would have cooked off or melted better. See how hot that gets. When it gets a little too hot for you, flip that thing around a little bit. Get another part on there, let it heat up. Because over on this side, it's cooling off. All right, let's make our roux. This is quick and easy. We got about a 1/4 cup of fat in there. We're gonna do about a 1/4 cup of flour. 50-50. Just like that. Get this on the heat a little bit and get it stirring. We're looking for blonde. We want to get all the white off of this. Because if you don't, it'll taste like bread soup instead of potato soup. There we go. See, that quick. I need to pull that off. It's getting too hot. And that's the beauty of cooking like this, is you don't have to keep it over the heat. You can pull it off, drag it back and forth. See, it's still cooking because the bottom's hot. I love cast iron. Now for our next thing, we're going to drop in a whole thing of unsalted chicken stock. The whole darn thing in there. There we go. Bring it on the heat. I'm gonna watch this pretty close and I'm gonna stir it. Now all that roux is gonna start mixing in there and getting a little bit thick. But we wanna heat this up to a simmer before I put my potatoes in there. This doesn't take long to cook. I mean, figure how hot that grill is right now. We gotta really watch, because you don't want scorched soup. Slowly stir it. All the little bits of the bacon are coming off the bottom. I can feel it's getting nice and smooth now. So we are winning. We're into daylight savings time now, so the sun's starting to go down earlier and earlier. But what are you gonna do? Is that all mixed in there real nice and good? I'll speed this up until it comes to a simmer. Oh, that'll look fun. All right, let's talk about these potatoes for a second while that's warming up. What I did is I par-cooked these in the microwave, and then I took them and I cut them up like armadillo potatoes, but the bottoms I didn't. So you can see the slices in there, but they're still kind of hard. So we're gonna break these up and get them right in there. Wow, that is hot down there. One. I got 2 russet potatoes that we're going to use. These parts, this I'm going to use as a thickener. We're going to heat it up and get it in there. And the others are just pieces that we're going to use for texture. Geez, I'm wearing half of it. And I got a couple little pieces here that didn't cut up. Keep that stirring. All right, the potatoes are in there. I'm gonna bring this up to a simmer. I'll bring it back when we go to the next one. All right, this has been simmering for about 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna pull that off of the heat, and I'm gonna pull out my stick blender that I couldn't wait to use here. And we're gonna blend all these little pieces up. I think that's pretty good. Get that out of there. Shake it off. Move this back over. Yeah, see how that thickened it up? Kind of hard to see through the foam, but look at the back of the spoon. Now we gotta watch we don't burn this. This will cool it off a little bit. About a cup, a little more than a cup of 2% milk. I'm using 2% because I had 2%. Let's get that in there and stir it up and get this to a simmer. And this is going to go quick now. I can feel that thick. Even with the milk in there, it thickened up nice. But don't you worry, it's gonna be good. So while that's doing that, I'm gonna dump out the water that I have, keeping these potatoes from getting all brown. Because as soon as this comes up to a simmer again, I'm gonna get those potatoes in there and get them cooking, because we're about done. I didn't add any salt, and I'm not gonna add any salt because there's more than enough salt in that bacon. I made the mistake once of saying how much. I can Yep, you can already tell. Oh, that's really good already. You can tell there's enough salt in there. And the cheese is gonna have salt, sour cream. This is rocking. All right, I'm gonna drop one more bomb in this thing with these cold potatoes. Like I said, that's 2 russet potatoes, just the bottoms of them run through the immersion blender. The rest of them I cut into bits about that big. Just did my armadillo potato and then sliced down the side of it. So I'm gonna let that come to a simmer. Once it does that, I will let it cook for about 5 minutes just to soften up those potatoes all the way. And then I'll bring it back because it'll really happen. So I will see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, I'm bringing you back. I've been stirring this thing for about 20 minutes now, and I feel like it is ready. I tasted some of the potatoes, and they just about broken down. I don't want them to be cooked to where they just fall apart. We want to have a little bit of potato consistency at least. I mean, we ground the other stuff up in there to give it flavor and thickness. Look at it, thickened up pretty good here for what it is right now. I've been pushing it back and forth on this over these coals. I can get it up to a rip-roaring boil here. Watch this. In a matter of seconds, this thing will get just hot. See how quick? So you gotta watch, because you can burn it, especially with the milk and all that starch from the potatoes in there. I mean, you can burn it. You can see the starch build up on the sides here, which isn't a big deal. It will clean off. But now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start putting in some cheese. And I'm not gonna hurry it. I don't want to melt it in. I don't want clumps. And it won't take long. I mean, we're good and hot here. And this is going to thicken it up even. My mouth is watering. I wish you could smell this. That's going to thicken it up pretty good. My mic was caught. So I'll just keep stirring this in until all the cheese is gone. I'm going to put 2 cups of cheese in here. It's not healthy. It's tasty. Geez, I think I've said that for about 3/4 of my things that I grill here. See how that cheese is gone? It just disappears. And I can feel it while I'm stirring that soup is thickening up. Put the rest of that in there. Stir it in. My mic keeps getting caught on something over here. There we go. I'll stir this in. Look at that. It just inhale that. Oh my goodness, that smells good. And see, now look at how thick it is. Cheese makes a big difference. And now since it's not healthy enough, or unhealthy enough, what's a baked potato without sour cream? Two dollops of sour cream. Let me get that off of there. I'm not going to waste that by any means. Dude, that tastes just like a freaking stuffed potato. I'm going to stir that in. And that sour cream will just dissolve in there, and it'll give it that sour cream taste, because what do you put on a baked potato or a stuffed potato? Sour cream, cheese, butter. How about some onions? I chopped these up earlier. I'm gonna give it a good shot. I like a lot of onions. That'll give it flavor and a little crunch. And I'm watching that I'm not stirring too hard as to crush all those potatoes that we spent all this time babying. Now look at that. Oh my gosh. All right, so now let's go through it again. We got flour. We got a little bit of, we got a box of chicken broth, 2 cups of cheese, 2 russet potatoes, a bunch of green onions, and the coup de grace is a half a pack of cooked bacon. Let's stir that in there. Look at that. How can that be bad, huh? Now I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off the grill just because I don't want to scorch it. Mrs. Everyone Can Grill will be home in a couple minutes. Let's take this. I want to give this a taste while we're out here. Right off the grill. Look at that. Green onions. Didn't get any bacon. There's a piece of potato. This is going to be rocket hot, but so what? Oh. You need to do this. If you were ever thinking about doing it, you need to just do it. Because man, is it good. Onions and bacon and potatoes, cheese, sour cream. Crying out loud. I hate to say this, but that might turn into a single serving. The potatoes got just enough bite left in them to where you got a potato, but it's not so hard that it is crunchy, if you know what I mean. The onions still got some crunch to them. The bacon's sure giving it flavor. You can even taste the butter in there. So I'm gonna get this in, get it ready for Mrs. Everyone Can Grill so she can have some good soup when she gets home. I hope you liked this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Down at the bottom, right down around there, hit the subscribe button too, and you'll get more videos like this. I try to do at least 2 a month. Okay, so I'm Mark. This is Everyone Can Grill. I want you to get off your butts, fire up your grills, and see what you can do.